Hello everybody, my name is Shenko and welcome back to the Minecraft Survival Series. I hope you all are well. Well, we are here in our beautiful Asian island, strolling past our beautiful rice fields that we built in the previous episode, and look at how much it has grown over the past few days. Doesn't that look amazing? Oh, I love it so much. Now going across the island, as you can see, more of the green grass and moss is still spreading throughout this entire island. A lot of this bamboo is growing on this island itself, and honestly, if this ends up becoming a bamboo jungle, I won't be mad, to be fair. Yeah, I won't be too mad about all this. Not too mad. Now if we take a dip into the little pond right here, and we fly on up to the floating sun structure, we will fly right past the sun of Tayo, and we will be in view of our beautiful storage room that we built in the previous episode. And this has been very helpful in helping me get organized around here. Well, yes, it isn't a fully automatic sorting system, but hey, why do that when you can sort everything by yourself? Right? Just put in the work. You got this. Now, in between episodes, I've been hard at work on planning what we're about to do this episode, but before we get into that, let me show you guys something real quick. So recently, I downloaded a new data pack for this world, and if we grab some leather and some string, come over to a crafting table, you can see we have something unique. Bundles. That's right, I added a data pack for bundles. Now, if you don't know what bundles are, they were meant to be added in caves and cliffs, but the controls weren't really intuitive for Pocket Edition, and therefore it wasn't added to the game. But since it was already in Java, we might as well make use of it. And I might have just found the most useful thing we can use to combat our bloated inventory. So this is traditionally all the function blocks that I like to bring on a Minecraft journey. You never know when you're gonna need certain blocks, like a clock for telling time, a compass to show you the way. You need a crafting table, campfires, stone cutters, anvils, the load. You never know when you're gonna need them, and especially an ender chest whenever you're gonna be traveling. Well, in the past, you used to have to carry all this in an ender chest, and then you have to open the ender chest in order to get those items. Well, with a bundle, not anymore. Since all these items stack to 64, I can place all these items in this bundle, and the bundle will only take up one spot. 12 blocks in one bundle. And whenever I need a ender chest, I can just pop it out, pop it in. So honestly speaking, bundles are really cool. I wish they get added for real in the future updates, because honestly, they're pretty great. You know, I wish they were added, but I can understand why on mobile devices the controls weren't very intuitive, and so they need to find a better way in order to integrate that. I hope they do though. It is really cool. Shall we just hop on down? Whee! Whoop! And stick the landing. Very nice. So what are we going to be doing today? Well, I'm glad you asked. We are going to be expanding more around the grassy areas of our Asian island, and the biggest thing I want to address is, well, more farms. Yes, we have our beautiful rice fields right here, but rice shouldn't be our only export. We need to diversify a little bit. We need to expand upon what we already have on this island, and hopefully get some more resources out of this and expand upon this farm area. But to do that, we need some resources. As you see me just going through the rice fields. As you can see, I have my ender chest very much organized with all the colors of the rainbow. You can see with all these different boxes that includes different things. And all these normal shulker boxes are just empty, just so I can store a bunch of blocks in them. Now we should have inside this moss box there. We have some spruce saplings and some dark oak saplings. So what I was thinking is that we take a little bit of time to gather some resources, and hopefully we grab one shulker box full of each of these woods right here. So we are due for a resource gathering, very short clip. It probably won't be that long since it's just me cutting down a bunch of trees and growing them back. So I'll see you when I've got all the resources ready for us to build. So half an axe used, and right now we have a whole shulker box full of dark oak and a whole shulker box full of spruce logs. Oh yeah, I got some red nether bricks from my old lands and a few more various other things here and there. So these will all be used for building, but not necessarily right now because... Oh, it's going dark. Time to sleep. So coming up to right here, I believe we can start making some farms up here. And one of the main things that I want to make a farm for is this right here. Sugarcane. We need quite a number of it, especially since sugarcane is used to make fireworks alongside gunpowder. So I guess there's not much to do other than to get this farm started. Let's just build up the sugarcane farm, shall we? So, what do you think? The coastside definitely looks a lot more lived in and filled up thanks to these two buildings, and it definitely fits in. So the sugarcane farm is enclosed by a normal East Asian Japanese style house building. You just make your way in, you can see your sugarcane farm is right here. Obviously it's been running for quite some time and we got a bunch of sugarcane. And right in front of this house, we have some nice coral, some sugarcane in these planter boxes, and we got a little bit of sugarcane around it, just to show that, hey, you can get your sugarcane from here. I might just put up a little sign, but so far, this serves somewhat of an indication of, hey, you can get your sugarcane from here. Now, right next to the sugarcane farm, walking by the cliffside, we have this little building right here. Now, I experimented with the block palette using more of these red nether bricks and also these things. If you don't know what these are dried kelp blocks, and I have plans for these. That's why I built the kelp farm. And inside this little building here, we have somewhat of an auto smelter. Now, I'm not too sure how best to explain how this works, so maybe a little demonstration might be here. You see, while I was building these two buildings and beautifying up the land a bit, we've been collecting quite a bit of kelp. This is the second chest, but we have a whole double chest full of them, and we got a second chest full of them. Okay, that seems like enough. Now inside this black shulker box, we have a lot of coal. Alright, so your fuel is supposed to go into this back chest, which there's a line of hoppers to load the fuel into the furnaces. So we'll just do that. Look how fast it's going. And then we can just load the kelp into the top chest. And so right underneath these chests are two hopper minecarts, and these hopper minecarts will go back and forth, filling up these hoppers, and those hoppers will load up the items and the fuel into these furnaces. And so once those are done, there are hoppers underneath the furnaces to collect the items, and it will dispense them into this chest right here. So how about we do that? And hey presto, they are lit up and they are probably getting filled. Yep, they are. So the hopper minecarts will just go back and forth collecting all the items from here and all the fuel from here. We are running out of fuel, but I'm pretty sure that will be just fine. So coal is a pretty good fuel source to fuel the auto smelter, but I feel as though there is a better source of fuel. Let me show you something. So somewhere among the grassy lands of this island, there should be an opening somewhere. Ah, there it is. Now this opening has a lava lake underneath it. And so this gives us a lot of potential to turn this into a renewable fuel source. Alright, well look at that. There's already 2 cauldrons that filled up with lava. How nice. And so lo and behold, we have renewable lava. Yes. So how is the auto smelter doing? Huh. I guess we ran out of... Yep, we ran out of kelp to feed the smelters. But look at how much dried kelp we have. Wow. That's pretty cool. So... hello. So far this episode, we managed to build up 2 brand new buildings by the cliffside, and we built up a few more farms. Well, those are auto farms. We need to address another farm, which is some cattle around here. See, while we have some nice beautiful rice fields here, we don't have a lot of livestock. Yes, we are collecting up a bunch of rice and wheat, but for livestock, we don't have any in this island, so maybe it's about time we built up a nice barn. We do some barn raising around here. While we have this little pen right here that I built before we started the Minecraft Survival series, we need something much more grand for our little mushrooms here. So right here, I have a bunch of layouts to what we might build right here, and nothing would feel better in here than a little bit of a barn raising. And the barn is going to be right here. Yes, I know the moss is taking over more of the island here and there. This is fine, right? This is fine. But as you can see, I have a little layout for the barn that we are going to be building here. And we have quite a weird layout, but I'm sure this will work in the end. And we have a bunch of small buildings here that I'm not too sure what I'm going to be building here. This area will definitely shape up to look more of a farming district with our starter house, the rice fields, and the other buildings by the cliffside. But in order to build these buildings, we're going to need a lot of resources. So let's go grab them, shall we? We got a bunch of wood, so we are set for that. We have a bunch of stone. We also have a bunch of deep slate, which will be really useful. So I guess we have all the resources that we need. And there's nothing else to do here other than to raise all these barns and these buildings. So how about a little time lapse of us doing a little barn raising? Let's do this. Well, that definitely took a significant amount of time, but lo and behold, the barn is complete. Look how beautiful it looks. So right next to the barn, which we will go in later, we have a nice little storage shack where we can come in. There's a bunch of storage shelves to store some items. In here, we're also storing some hay and some dry kelp blocks. I might also move the chest outside in order to store most of our stuff in here, even though there is just chest scattered around the place. And right next to it, we have something in progress at the moment. Oh, that bamboo just grown. Right next to the pond, we have a nice little tea house. A Japanese tea house, as you can see. Now, if you remember in episode 1, you might have remembered I really love birch trap doors. And that's because they remind me of shoji doors in Japanese architecture. And so I used it here as well, in this tea house. And there's a little bit of an opening. Actually, might get rid of these two. And it comes out to a nice balcony overlooking the entire ocean. Doesn't that look nice? Now, it isn't complete yet, as is with the scaffolding and the empty interior, but we will come back to that at a later date. For now, if we walk past the tea house, you will come across a chicken coop. I have some free-range chickens, spawned them all with eggs, and they are living very happily in here. And then once they're done, they can come out into the yard and enjoy some time in the sun. Pretty cool, if you ask me, and I can just come over and collect the eggs whenever. Now, the moment you all been waiting for, the barn. And if you have a keen eye, you might have noticed us using dried kelp blocks. Ew. Why would you ever use such a block? Well, in normal farm building architecture in East Asia, we have these sort of hay blocks that covers the roof of some sort instead of usual tiles or bricks. But hay blocks are a little bit bright, in my opinion. If you look over here, hay blocks are extremely bright yellow with red going around. It doesn't match well with the browns that are going around the barn itself. And so comparing hay blocks to dried kelp, I prefer dried kelp because they're dark enough, it makes it look like deep slate, but at the same time, it has a natural green color that has a contrast with the browns in the barn. And so you get a very nice looking roof. Not gonna lie, it is pretty cool. Now, I did get some inspiration from a legendary builder called B000100. He has a video where he goes over 10 uses of dried kelp blocks in builds, and one of his suggestions were using it as a roof, and I decided, maybe that would look good. And lo and behold, I did it. So what do you think? Did it come out alright, or are dried kelp blocks still very ugly in building? Let me know in the comments below. Now, I split off the path from the rice fields into here, where we can just walk up through the path blocks and it will transition into the stone blocks. And as you come in here, I moved in all the mushrooms that were in a temporary pen out here for the longest time. They are now inside the barn, nice and cozy. Look at all of them. Yes, I do have red and brown mushrooms, and that's because lightning storms here accidentally strike these cows, and yeah. Now with the rest of the barn, I'm not too sure what to do with it yet. If you come up here, there still isn't anything here. Once again, more scaffolding just to show that we are still in the progress of building something here. Getting some interior done, and this is a work in progress nevertheless. Come down this ladder once again. And with the sun going down, you can now get a look at how this area is looking like. And it definitely looks really nice. There are some problems though. With floating islands being built in the floating sun structure, it casts a dark shadow in here and it makes the land all dark and stuff. I can actually just grab some glow lichen and start placing it on pieces of land just like this. Maybe. I guess this can work. Maybe if I grab some mossy cobblestone and just placed it around randomly around the place, and add some glow lichen, maybe that can work. But I guess that's a problem for another time. And once more, this area is still very much a work in progress. There isn't any of the bonsai trees that we're growing all over the place, so we definitely need to plant more of those around here. But I'm honestly very happy with how the barn turned out. It looks really nice, and for the first time of me using dried kelp blocks, honestly, it looks really nice. I think you can expect more dried kelp blocks to be used in the future of my builds. You know, stay tuned, because I'm definitely liking the use of dried kelp blocks in builds. And I'm very excited to see even more buildings being added to this Asian island that we have here. Oh, the island is coming along just nice, and we definitely have more ideas to explore and to work around to build up this nice Asian kingdom. Not just down here, but also up there. We built that in the last episode, and now we expanded more buildings on the island itself. So there's definitely a lot more ideas to explore. I'm definitely going to spend some time in between episodes just to plant some more of these bonsai trees and just spruce up the land a little bit more, and hopefully finish the interior for the tea house. And not just in the farming area, but also the coastline, where we have the sugarcane farm and the auto smelter, and also a kelp farm, which we will have to decorate in the future. But with that being said, that's going to be it for episode 3 of the Minecraft Survival Series. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Do give it a like and subscribe to follow in on the journey with me. And as always, my name is Shenko. Thank you so much for watching this video. Take care of yourselves, be nice to one another, and I will see you in the next video. Until we meet again. Later!